name's Alicia Power, and I'm a spiritual intuitive. And welcome to my question and answers today. Thank you for being here with me. Just got a question here from one of you who've written into me. Since most of us have problems connecting with our spirit guide, why can't our spirit guide just make sure that we can hear what we need to know? Why can't our spirit guide just make sure that we can hear what we need to know? Wow, what a great question. So let's just take a little look at that. Why can't our spirit guide just make sure that we can hear what we need to know? So what I normally do is I open up my own psychic abilities in this moment and just notice what my spirit tutors want to say about that. So straight away, see how fast that is? Straight away they're saying that actually your spirit guides are hugely invested, really, really wanting to communicate to you all the time. And they know that you and everybody watching this have many, many questions about your lives. You've got so many dynamics, family dynamics, relationships, work situations, money situations. You've got so many questions about your life that you wish you could chat to someone to give a little bit of an overview and a bit of insight and maybe a bit of guidance. So they're very aware that you've got a lot of these questions. And the interesting thing is that they're actually observing you lovingly and gently from, if you could say, behind the veil, from the worlds of spirit. So they're observing you. So they can see that you've got these feelings coming up and these questions coming up. And they can see that you're kind of hanging and wanting to ask somebody a question. And what this person was asking is, hey, why can't they just make sure that we hear the answers? So let's just see what the answer to that is. And they're just wanting to add that most humans are not used to identifying the subtle information flows from the world of spirit. And I use the term information flows quite deliberately because in my 25 years of dialoguing two-way clearly with the spirit world, I have learned that the information coming back to a question that I might have asked is not quote-unquote obvious. It's quite subtle. It's quite gentle in the way that it comes back to me, usually. So when you ask spirit or your particular spirit guide a question, and even if you haven't met a spirit guide yet, you can still ask spirit helpers a question at any time. And remembering, of course, that it's just an internal, it's inside your mind. That inside your mind, you've kind of turned to spirit and you're asking maybe a specific question. How can I deal with some person? Or which decision shall I make? Shall I go left or right? So in that moment, when you've asked that question, like it's a deliberate question, you know, I just want to quickly put in here that there are times when we're bursting to reach for insight about something, like something's intense for us, and we're kind of going, help, I need somebody help. That great question, that great song. And we're not really sort of deliberately turning around inside of our mind and going, okay, this is a formal moment, I want to ask my spirit guide a question. When we may not be in that moment or in that mode, we're just kind of internally screaming for an answer. That's another kind of a moment where we're kind of reaching for the spirit worlds unbeknownst to us, usually half the time. But I'm talking about a formal moment where you're actually going, okay, I'm going to turn around in my mind or put my attention on the spirit world, and I'm going to ask the spirit world a question. So in that moment when you're asking the spirit world a question, my spirit tutors are saying to me right now is that they have to deal, on the other side of the veil, big concrete wall, they have to deal with the fact that usually the person who's asking that question is not used to noticing the subtle information coming back to them. So they're not sure where to look inside themselves. They're not sure where to position their attention inside themselves so that they can catch that subtle information, the answer coming back to them. So the spirit guide knows that you or someone may not be used to that and may not know where to look for the answer inside your consciousness. So they're saying that's number one. So, why can't they just make you hear it clearly? They can get a book to fall off a bookshelf for you. They can stand a friend in front of you who suddenly finds themselves saying something really profoundly wise to you and answers your question. They can, puppeteer a few things like that. But let's look at that moment where you've asked a question and it's not only just a yes or a no question, it's like, hey, give me a reason why I should go right rather than left, just as an example. So the spirit guide is going, right, this person can't hear me, doesn't know how to notice the information that I'm going to send to them, and I can send them a lot, like a university of information. But this person doesn't know where to look. So sometimes they're telling me to say right now, sometimes they will make you feel hot. Sometimes they will distract your thoughts so that you go onto a different thought stream. And they're saying the reason they would do something like that is that underneath, like while you're thinking, underneath they will start moving the chairs around a little bit inside of you so that even your sort of distracted thought stream starts going on to the topic of what you just asked about. Like, when you're snoozing and your mind's just flowing all over the place. It's a little bit like that. The spirit guide can just gently sort of push your attention onto something. And you're kind of just ruminating and throwing ideas around and just thinking generally about something, but underneath they're sort of moving a lot of chairs around, and a kind of a knowing or an aha or a thought can bubble up to the surface, which helps you get clear. Like they might help amplify a feeling in you of your own preference that you may not have connected with beforehand. So I'm just saying that they've got all sorts of ways to pull strings to make sure that you do get an answer for yourself. Now, let's go back to, so I'm just saying in answer to that question, why don't they just make us hear something really clearly? They can, but they're aware that quite a simple training, like a little lesson that I could give you, is where to look for that subtle information that's coming back from the spirit guide. See, and that's another training, not for today necessarily. But I'm just saying that and I was saying to somebody the other day, it's a bit like learning the violin. The first couple of days, the screeching is terrible. You've got your hands on a fretboard, and the way that you're holding the bow and running it across the violin strings, the sounds are terrible. Even learning a guitar, similar thing, really clumsy. But given 3 months or a year or 3 years, those fingers on that fretboard are very exact in the pressure, in sort of how you're holding them, in terms of directly right on or just subtle. The way you're holding the bow, the sound coming out is beautiful because you've had a long time to practice. And I'm just saying it's a little bit like that with noticing where the information is being delivered back to you inside your mind. Where? Is it down up here? Underneath? Where? So with practice, actually, and all of you listening, I want to say to you that you can start practicing, and just regularly practicing, you will start noticing where that information, that subtle answer is coming back to you now, because it happened to me. That's how I learned, and that was 25 years ago. And I've had 25 years of super clear dialoguing and conversations with high levels of spirit intelligence. 25 years. So it started like this, and it's just practice. So you just show up and have a formal moment where you ask a question of your spirit guide and notice how the information comes back to you. Now that moment where you apply yourself and you switch on your attention, your spirit guides on the other side are going to be tweaking that more and more and more and more, helping you, tuning it like a volume tuner, more and more and more and more. Or it's like, really, they're just telling me now, it's like when you're tuning into a radio station, you know, static, and then finally you've got it clear. Really, they actually, behind the scenes, will be helping you, gently nudging your attention on where it's nice and clear. So it's showing up, practicing. Can't say that more often. You know, I can't say that enough, actually. So just to let you know. So do it. Show up, practice, and you'll see that within 1 week, your ability to notice where the information is coming from, and it might show up as a picture or as one word to start with, which how it was for me. It'll start to turn into sentences, but it's your application. You have to show up, you have to practice. What I've given you right now and today is one of the biggest clues for increasing your intelligence and increasing the success in your life. Because your spirit guides can guide you to success. Internal success as a soul, looking for soul fulfillment in this lifetime, and also external success, because they've done that for me as well. They are very clever, very smart. They want to help you realize your potential, and also they want you to get in this lifetime what you want to receive in this lifetime. They really do. So thank you so much for watching this, and much love, and remember to practice, show up and practice. Alicia Power, thank you.